Hello, 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 I'm Ruby Burrito, and welcome. I had been making videos about the rarest weapons and armor sets in the expansions, and I kind of been going backwards. I should be able to hit all of them before we get X-Pack 6. But it has been a minute since I made the End of Dragons armor video, so now we're finally going to make the End of Dragons rarest weapons video. So we'll just dive right in. This is going to be a little bit different because with armor sets and weapon sets, sometimes you have genuinely the rarest item, but for this one, we're going to be talking about the rarest weapon sets, just because I think it'll be a little bit more interesting that way. Okay, as we're diving in here, you can see I have these sorted for the rarest sets here. If we want to talk about the most common weapons from this expansion, it's going to be the Flame Serpent weapons and the Salt Spray weapons. You can see like 35% of the population and kind of about 20% down to 10% for the Spindrift, Salt Spray, all that, much more commonly obtained than some of the other ones that we're going to be looking at today. These numbers are a little bit old because I had been planning to make this video for a while. These are new. I just updated these today. We are going to be able to see that the Jade Punk weapons are the rarest End of Dragon weapons in total. I mean, 304, 304, 314, that's crazy. Not even 0.1% of the population has these weapons. So Jade Punk, Torch, Warhorn, and Shortbow are the three rarest, period. Then you have Zaitan's Gaze, Morgemoth's Gaze, and Morgemoth's Scale. That's going to be the three rarest of the Gen 3 legendary weapons. So that's going to include all the Orines and then all the variants. Gen 3 legendary weapons, you have Zaitan's Gaze, Morgemoth's Gaze, and Morgemoth's Scale. That's 441, 444, and 442, still at or just below 0.1% of the population. And then finally, the last set that we're going to talk about is going to be the Energized Luxons. As you can see here is going to be the Scepter, Mace, and Focus. 2,381, 2,386, and 2,410. About 0.5% of players have those. So we're going to sort these A to Z for the actual weapon name, so we can take a look at the sets themselves here. So this is just an average of the actual unlocked stats. So Jade Punk, on average, 385 players have unlocked each of those weapons. Again, less than 0.1%. Then the rarest of the Gen 3 legendaries is going to be Zaitan's. 1,015 average, 0.227%. Then you can see it's Morgemoths, Suwons, Kralkotorix, Jormags, Primordises, and Orines is actually by far the most obtained because it's the one you have to obtain first at 9,000 and 2%. The Energized Luxon is just a little bit rarer, well, quite a bit rarer than Orines, 3,000 and 0.672% of the population. If you're curious how to get some of these weapons, so Jade Punk will start first because it's the rarest. Acquisition, you have to buy the recipe from this Junlai Jade sales associate for 150 research notes each, and then you have to craft Soon's Inscription, Vision Crystal, and then your regular tier 7 components. So these are not cheap to make. For example, we can look at the Jade Punk Axe. You need a Soon's Inscription, Vision Crystal, Deljamor Steel Axe Blade, and Small Spiritwood Haft. So that's how you get these all crafted. That's why I believe very few people have these, even though they do look pretty cool. I mean, this is a good looking skin here. But because of the difficulty of obtaining and the fact you have to go through and craft all these, kind of a pain, so I think less people have those. Energized Luxon, these are obtained via the Energized Luxon Hunter's Weapon Cache, which sells on the trading post for anywhere between 20 and 25 gold currently. And you get these from Gyaladelv, and so that's really how you obtain these weapons. You can look at like the Focus. These are account bound out of the chest, so you can't sell them by weapon, but for example, that's what the Focus looks like, and then we can actually take a look at like the Greatsword. Still a cool set here, but that would explain why those are pretty rare. Moving on to the Gen 3 weapons. So these are very expensive. The Orines version, all over 2,200, or about 2,200. I would say the 1 gold here doesn't really make a huge difference, but you do have to craft these through the general Gen 3 crafting. It's going to be a Gift of Jade Mastery, which requires some End of Dragons currencies here. Bloodstone Shard, Gift of Cantha, this is your map completion. Antique Summoning Stones, this is kind of where some of that expense comes from. These are about 2 gold now. They're much more expensive when this came out. Draconic Tribute, this is pretty standard. Mystic Clovers, Amalgamated Draconic Lodestones. This is the kind of the new thing, the unique thing for Gen 3. Gift of Condensed Might, Gift of Condensed Magic. And then Dragon's Rending, this is your precursor. Gift of Arine's Rending. These are the specific ones here to the Gen 3. Mystic Runestorm's not very specific, but these are kind of Tale of Adventure you get from playing through the story. Lamplighter's Badge is map completion stuff, and then kind of standard things there. And then Gift of Glory, Battle, War, Cube of Stabilized Dark Energy. That's pretty standard. But when you want to turn it into something else, we'll look at Zaitan, because it's going to be the rarest set there. Fragment of Prismatic Shadows after finishing the Arene's Facet of Shadows. So you have to do a set of achievements after you unlock the Arene's weapons, which includes talking to Livus, purifying the scale, completing events in Ruins of Ore, defeating Tequatl Sunless. There's a whole bunch of stuff you have to do here, and then you'll have to craft the whole set, 326 sell price, in order to get these. To buy all 4, you need all of this. So that's to get the full set. It's an additional 300 gold on top of the thousands of gold that your Gen 3 legendaries would cost. So it makes sense that these are pretty rare. So yeah, that's going to be the rarest sets in End of Dragons. We can kind of take a look at this again in the future, hopefully. But the next set, or the next expansion that we're going to look at is Path of Fire. We'll do another set of weapons and another set of armor for what is rarest from the Path of Fire expansion. So if you enjoyed the content, if you've been enjoying the content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, we'll hopefully see you guys in the next one.